business owner. I have a background in management and accounting. I also have a background in planning and land use. I think that I would bring a business perspective to the court, a much needed business perspective to the court. I also have a long history of community service. I spent a number of years on the Plano City Council, and my record there, I think, speaks for itself. We lowered taxes when I was on council, and one year we actually had a surplus, and we sent checks back to the residents of Plano. So they actually got a check back in the mail from we had a surplus, and I will tell you that was not appreciated by our staff. But over staff objections, we insisted that that surplus would be returned and that we would not hold it over for another year. I think, and that's, I think, just an example of my dedication to fiscal responsibility, because I really understand that tax dollars are your dollars. They're not mine to spend. They're not Jerry's to spend. They are your dollars, and we need to be cognizant of that every time we're looking at expenditure. I worked really hard to represent my constituents in Plano, and I think I went to great lengths to talk to them, to try and get their input, because I think it's critical to make sure that you are, in fact, representing the views of your constituents. So I tried very hard to stay involved with the community, make sure that I heard from as many people as I could. And I think if you were to talk to people in Plano, they would tell you that I served them very well. I think they would be, you would hear from them that I exhibited strong conservative leadership, that I was principled, I was ethical, and I was very fiscally responsible. And I think that's important because I think at the county level right now, we're going to have a lot of new and difficult issues facing us, particularly as the fallout from Washington begins to filter its way down to the local level, which it ultimately will. Everything that goes on in Washington is going to just get pushed down to the local level, which will just increase our costs, unfunded mandates. These are the kinds of things that we are constantly being harassed by from the state and local and federal governments down to the local level. So I think it's critical that we get prepared now, because we don't know what's going to be happening to us in the future. We need to be proactive, not reactive. This is no time to take a this is the way we've always done it mentality at the local level. We're going to have to be much more proactive than we've ever had to do in the past. In my opinion, right now is the right time for the right change in leadership at the county level. I have a proven conservative record. I have proven results from the things that I've participated in both the private sector and the public sector. And one of the tenets, the most basic tenets of conservative principles is limited government. And I believe that an extension of that is if you're going to have limited government, you probably need to have limited terms of service. And that's one of the best ways that you can ensure that you have fresh, new ideas, that you don't have cronyism, you get those kinds of things don't exist when you have when you keep turning people over on a regular basis. So I would say to you that a conservative should not be a career politician. And I would say to you that conservatives shouldn't go to Austin and lobby for new taxes. And conservatives shouldn't give themselves pay raises year after year. And I don't think that conservatives believe that future growth is going to pay for any and every project that comes our way. And I'm here to tell you tonight that I am a conservative, I'm a fiscal conservative, and I'm committed to holding the line on these budgets, scrutinizing every project based on the cost and the benefits, not who owns the land, not where they're located, not who the contractor is. And I also here to say that by going to the people that do business with the county. And they don't have appreciation dinners and appreciation events hosted by the biggest contractors in the county. I think that's a real problem. So the other thing that I'm committed to doing is funding my campaign with voters, not vendors. And I think that, I think that speaks to a level of integrity that I think is important to have at our local level. So I believe that I'm the right choice for county commissioner. I have a business background. I have community service and leadership background and experience. I have integrity for the job. So I'm going to ask you for your vote and your support tonight. I think that's, I want you to know that I really want your support and your vote. And if I have some more time,